a sip. Come on. Let's go.
Oh my word, it is so busy out here today. Everybody's walking their dogs so they can get it in before the rain comes. Look at the storm clouds. It's only a 20% chance of rain. It's just mostly cloud cover today. And Stitch is dodging school buses and cars. Poor thing. He's so scared of all that, which is, that's a good thing. So today I'm going to preview a new trial for you on National Thrift Store Day. I'll tell you all about that. And we'll continue the Murdaugh family saga. See you on the other side. Good morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. That Journey chick over on Instagram. And The Leftovers is my new channel. Check that out. The link is down in the description. And the like button is here today. He wanted me to let you know that he didn't want me to wear the butterfly shirt. He's like, you wore that last week. I'm like, but it's my favorite shirt. So hit the like button. And don't forget, please, if you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing and consider sharing this with someone you know that might enjoy the content. And the notification bell, hit all. Just even if you've been a subscriber with me for a very long time, make sure you've hit all so you don't miss a single episode of Crafting and Crime Daily. This is the show where I bring you recaps of live trials. And guess what? There's a new trial starts today. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know. I saw this thing on Instagram. I know I'm so Instagram influenced. But the person was saying, you find a reason every day to celebrate. So today, I'm celebrating a new trial. Yay! Not that I am anywhere done talking about the Murdaugh family murder saga, because there's so much more to talk about. So I'm going to try to continue with that for the week and the new trial. Bear with me, but we want to get this wrapped up in a nice little bow, which I don't know if that'll ever happen until the actual trial. That's going to be a very good trial to cover. So, but which trial? He's got so many charges. Oh my word. And I have a theory about this whole thing. So, I was diamond painting again last night. Let me show you how far I've gotten. I usually only do this weekly, but because of my arm, I can't do other crafts really. So I've been doing a lot of diamond painting, listening to the live trials, or, doing my research for the case. I'm trying to save these. I put them back, because they're so darn cute. They came from Crafts with Crashly. She sells these release papers. She even has one for the event. I don't know if she has any of those event ones left over, but all right, let's show you. Little sheep in the field. Okay, this is where I'm working right here, this little area. The rest of this is done, and I think I'll just go up here and finish this. In fact, I think I'm going to just leave it this way. So if you're kind of new to diamond painting, I do use a lot of different pens. This one came from Poshy Pens. It has a clear resin in the middle, and it's called a hybrid. It has wood on one side, this clear resin here with a little baby peep in the side, a little peep rabbit. So I have my 4-placer and single placer on that. This one came from Enabler's Outpost. Same thing, hybrid pen. Wood in the center. I love these fat pens. Wood in the center, flowers inside, of the polymer here, and single place, 10 place. I use all of these. Then I have this wood one that I got from my friend Narrate. It actually says Rebecca on it, and it has little kitty cats and butterflies on either side. It's wood, you can't really see that. So I've got my 5-placer here and a straightener on the other side. And then my tweezers. I use all 4 interchangeably. And that's with a lot of people. They'll settle on something that they're used to. Even when I'm painting, there's just I have, probably, 30, 40 brushes at this point. And there's 3 or 4 that are my favorites. So, and you can't hear me. Sorry about that. All right, let's get the show rolling. It's National Thrift Shop Day, which to me, that's awesome. For every item that you purchase in a thrift shop, which is, sells gently used items, most thrift shops, including, my resale shop, I'm not going to sell anything that's stained or, just damaged. So when you purchase from a thrift shop, you're going to get something that's probably in pretty good condition, and you're not going to pay a big price for it, and you're saving an item from the landfill. This is stuff that nobody, they're moving, they don't want to take it with them, someone has passed away, they just need to get rid of the stuff that's in the house so they can sell grandma's house, and grandma collected yarn. Yeah. Oh, dear me, if I ever pass away, I have to set up an inheritance for the yarn, right? All right, let's stop talking about that kind of dreariness. I just love this. Oh, my God, this little girl is amazing. It reminds you of Anne of Green Gables, doesn't it? Okay, let's turn on the light pad so we can see the symbols. I'm going to go get my coffee. Please hold. So I will tell you, I had some good news yesterday. I applied for a job. Ascension has hospitals everywhere, and I thought, let me see what they've got. And I've been looking because I talked to a recruiter, and she said there are openings for my qualifications out there. So last week, I sent out one for risk management coordinator. This time I sent out one in Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm thinking, where is Birmingham, Alabama? And then I remembered Alabama, right above Tallahassee, Pensacola, Alabama. Very southern. I'm like, oh dear. Can I find a state that's Democratic, please? Anyway, I know. I digress. But, so it was a risk manager position. And within 20 minutes, I get an interview not with the people that are hiring, but with the recruiter. She wants to talk to me. I'm like, whoa. But it would have to include moving expenses and a 6-figure salary, or it would not be worth my time. And I'm really excited about my new adventure, being a reseller. I have invested in a GoPro camera, which reminds me, there's a thanks button down at the bottom. You can make a one-time donation that goes to support the content of the channel. Yes, I've invested in a GoPro camera to support the Leftover channel, so that when I'm at a yard sale, there's a vest that you can wear and attach the GoPro right here, so that my hands are free to look at the items, show you the items that I'm looking at, talk to you while I'm on camera, and yeah. I'm just so excited about this new adventure. But I'm trying to be realistic. I am applying. Today's the 17th. I have till tomorrow to sign this release that they want me to sign to get my severance. I'm waiting for the attorney very patiently to get me the extension. He wrote them a letter, and he said, I'm representing her. I need to talk to your lawyer, and that's kind of where we're at. Their lawyer has not stepped up to the plate. So he has promised to deal with that today. Oh my gosh, we got to talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah. So that is it is National Thrift Shop Day. If you every town has a thrift shop, whether it's a private thrift shop or one that's run by a charity like Goodwill, Salvation Army. For years, I have always, each year I will at least donate one bin of things to Goodwill, just to try to declutter. So now I'm going to try to sell it, but yeah, and I've gone to Goodwill and gotten some really good deals. You just have to, be very picky about what you're buying there. You really have to be willing to sort through everything. You can't, it's not like a regular store. You have to be on the hunt. Yeah, you have to look at things, turn them over, look at labels, look at the condition of the items. But it's fun. And the fun of it is that you might find like an antique or a treasure or, an item that's really, really cheap and you think you'll get make a good profit on it. It's like a treasure hunt, right? Okay, copy. Now, where was I here? All right, let's work on the greens. The greens. It's Wednesday, guys. Don't forget, this afternoon or this evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be doing my weekly live. Now, last week I didn't do it. I was in a mood last week, and yeah, just in a mood. So today I'm probably going to be doing, I don't know, what should I do? I'll think about it. I haven't decided yet. It could be watercolor. I love my watercolors. But I was watching Shalene color yesterday. Maybe I can get Shalene to come on and color with me tonight. If not, maybe I'll just color by myself. We'll see. I love her. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. Yeah. And I haven't colored in a long time. I have a lot of coloring stuff. So I need to color. Which one is this? Oh, that's that one. Okay. Okay. I'm talking to myself about drill color. Which drill symbol am I using here? And I'm using my 10 placer right now. Boop. 10 down. So easy. When you have color blocking, it's great. A lot of this that I've been doing the last few days is color blocking, which is amazing when you can put 10 drills down. And this does take some practice. Yeah, because at first you're like, they go everywhere and you got to straighten them. And yeah, and you're thinking this is not worth it, but you get used to it. So let's talk about crafting and crime. After we put this drill down, yep, right here. So the new trial is Matthew Moore. The new trial is the state of Ohio. We're going to Ohio, guys. Have we been to Ohio yet? I don't think so. The state of Ohio versus Matthew Moore. Matthew is accused of staging his wife's suicide. His wife went missing. He actually went on a podcast, to say that she's missing and we can't find her. We've been looking for her, that whole thing. And 3 months later, 4 months later, I'm not sure, they find her body hanging from a tree by a USB cord. Horrible death. Yes. So, but he is accused of staging this to make it look like a suicide. What? This is a very unusual one. I like the unusual ones. You know me. So does YouTube, apparently. All right. So that starts today. Opening statements are today. What was going on earlier in the week is they were picking a jury. So sometimes that takes a day or two. And it's not something that they cover on YouTube because it's very boring. Jury selection is extremely boring. Even for the lawyers, it's boring. That was probably my least favorite part of the trial. jury selection. Oh, let's just get it over with, shall we? Trying to figure out, which juror is going to side with your case, which one might have an affinity towards your side. And it's so difficult to predict, nearly impossible. So let's get on back to the Murdaugh family murder saga. We're going to go forward or back. Well, we're backwards in time. We're going to go September 4th, 2021. Yep, almost 1 year ago, over Labor Day. Alec Murdaugh calls 911 at 1:34 p.m. in the afternoon. And this is incredible. This whole story is incredible. I need some coffee before I start. So Alex reports to the 911 operator that he has been hit in the head, shot in the head. So, but he doesn't tell her that at first. He says, I stopped. I had a flat tire. I stopped to fix it. I'm out on this rural road, and I don't have the name of the road. And this car stops, and he thought the car was stopping to help him, and they get out, and they shoot at him. And she says, "Are you injured?" He goes, "Yeah, and my head is really bleeding a lot. I need an ambulance." Now, at the same time, there is a 911 call placed by a couple that was passing by, and they called 911 and they said, "Look, we just passed this guy. He's covered in blood. We didn't stop because it looked staged. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and he had the trunk of his car open, not the hood. It was the trunk, and we were scared." And the operator said, "Well, I can understand that." But when you hear the 911 call from Alec, you can hear another 911 operator on the call with this other couple. So the calls come in simultaneous. So this is around, like I said, 1:34 p.m. It takes EMS an hour to get there. Alec hangs up. He makes another 911 call. A different operator picks up, and he had already given his name. He goes, "This is Alec Murdaugh. I'm still waiting for an ambulance. I'm bleeding. I need an ambulance." He says, "Someone's stopping to help me." So someone stopped, and he says, can you guys give me a ride to the hospital?" And they said, "Well, we have a baby in the back seat. You'd have to sit in the back of our truck." So he tells the operator, we're going to be on the way to the hospital. So he gets in the back of this truck, and they start on their way to the hospital. Now, he's still on the phone with 911 as they're traveling, and she's saying, "EMS is headed your way." And at some point during the 911 call, he says, "Okay, we can see the ambulance. We're stopping." He gets into the ambulance, but the next thing you know, he is airlifted to a hospital for a head injury that the doctor at the hospital describes as superficial. When he finally gets into an ambulance, he's 7 miles away from his vehicle. When they get to the scene, they recover a knife that was used to slash the tire. That comes back to Alec Murdaugh. The law enforcement division in this county, right away, Alec Murdaugh, they call in SLED, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. There's you guys need to lead this investigation because we don't know what's going on here. So they come out and they lead the investigation. Meanwhile, Alex is released from the hospital. Some say right away, some say 2 days later. But all hell is breaking loose behind the scenes. His lawyer, he hires the best lawyers in the state. His lawyer announces that Alex is going into rehab for opioid addiction. Okay. I don't know where that came from. The same day, he is fired from PMPED, which is the law firm that his family started. This is where he works. It's been in his family for decades. They fire him for misappropriation of their money in the millions, approximately 10 million, they're claiming. And the South Carolina Supreme Court suspends his law license. So as a PR move, I think, that's what I believe, they send him to rehab for opioid addiction. Now, this is when he goes to Georgia to detox, and then he ends up in a rehab in Orange County, Florida, where we remember he was later arrested for the conspiracy of Gloria Satterfield and the misappropriation of her money, right? So also arrested around that same time in October is a man named Eddie Smith. Curtis Eddie Smith. He's a 61-year-old man, grew up with Alec Murdaugh. Curtis went into the logging industry. He ended up having a very bad accident and injured his back, and Alec represented him in a workers' comp claim. So they did know each other. And at this point, Curtis is not working anymore, but he would do odd jobs for people, including Alex Murdaugh. Now, he is arrested, what amounts to a suicide scheme. So here's the story that Eddie is telling. Eddie says, Alec calls him and tells him, I need you to meet me out on this rural road bring your truck. So Eddie's thinking, oh, he needs me to do some kind of odd job or, so I'll come. So he goes out there. Now, Curtis Eddie, we'll call him Eddie. He's got long curly hair, and he's kind of a hippie sort of, and he's just, Southern guy living his life. He comes out to help Alec. He says Alec was suicidal. He's got a gun. They struggled over the gun. Alec is telling him, I want you to shoot me in the head. He doesn't get the gun away from him, and he finally leaves. And when he left, he said Alex was not injured in any way, and he leaves. But he's later arrested for attempting to shoot Alec, or for shooting Alex Murdaugh. So they both appear in court at the same time. Now, this is two different justice systems that you're going to hear about here. Alex, ahead of time, has arranged behind the scenes in the good old buddy system for a $25,000 bond on his own recognizance, which means he doesn't have to put up the whole $25,000. He doesn't have to be monitored. There's no ankle monitoring, nothing like that. He can just get a bond for $2,500 and he can bond out. Meanwhile, Eddie gets the book thrown at him. He gets a bond of $55,000 cash, or you're going to sit in jail. Both for the same scheme. Oh my goodness. And it's thought that Alex set up this fake suicide attempt in order that his son should, well, not fake, he wanted the guy to kill him in order that he would get a $10 million life insurance policy that would go to his son, Buster. Now, why would you try to kill yourself and leave your son, who has already lost his mother and his brother, alone? This man was such a narcissist. So, and I might add, when he appears at the bond hearing, Alec Murdaugh has no wounds on his head. No bandages, nothing. No signs of any injury on his head. Now, it is a few weeks later, but still, he got airlifted to a hospital. And there's a big deal about who called the helicopter. He was already in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. How did a helicopter get called? How do we get a helicopter involved? The saga continues. And I might add that the description of the individual that Alex claimed shot him does not match Eddie at all. He's saying, oh no, I was shot by this young, short-haired guy. What happened on this day in history? On this day in history, the Woodstock Festival in New York concludes. It had 3 days of peace and love and great music. Oh my word. So one of the organizers of that music festival decided he's going to have a music festival 30 years later. 1999, they have a music festival. If you want to see how that turned out, there is a Netflix special on it. It's a 3-episode documentary about the disaster that the Woodstock 99 turned out to be. But this Woodstock turned out fantastic. It was held on a 600-acre dairy farm in Bethel, New York, which was actually about 50 miles from Woodstock. They sold 186,000 tickets to this event, and they estimate there was probably about 200,000 people there. And the reason for that is because they feared that they were not going to be able to control the crowds, but to just ticket holders. So they just opened it up free of charge to everybody. Come on down. It rained that weekend. They were all covered in mud. Performances were, I'm going to read who the performances were. Janis Joplin, Arlo Guthrie, Joe Cocker, Joan Baez, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Sly and the Family Stone, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. The Who performed in the early morning hours of August 17th with Roger Daltrey belting out See Me, Feel Me. Oh my God, do you remember that? See me, feel me. That was terrible. This is great music, guys. Now, a little before my time, because I was very young when Woodstock happened, but it's just fantastic music. The most memorable moment of this festival was when Jimi Hendrix took the stage and played the Star Spangled Banner. Do, 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 do. Okay. That is all you're getting from me today. Wednesday. Well, no, I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on tonight. Live. Yes, live. We're going to be doing some craft with me on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central. I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.